Cheers for tuning in to another episode of the Here's the Craic podcast.
If you haven't already, subscribe to our Spotify and Apple Music and leave a 5-star review.
And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and like the video.
Something like she made soup or something, and she brought it in. She was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "It's so nobala." And she was like, "I beg your pardon." I had like a pure boozy party the night before they buried Prince Philip.
Did they?
Yeah, I know.
She was over on Epstein's Island.
Oh no.
What are they? Oh,
But then, just like, I just roll over them dead everyone and look at them like Tom.
I was like, whatever like helps you get through the night, like, you know, like whatever. Like,
here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit and drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
I'd near enough done a J. Johnnery. I had a pint of Copperberg down night though.
We'll talk about that. Started off that.
Yeah, that'll do.
Are you starting?
Take fucking do the intro though.
oh, are we doing
That's
this?
the only thing you do.
Jesus Christ, we've been off one month and you've lost it.
You're the intro, babe.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to
Sorry.
another episode. It's alright, Leisha. It's fine.
Fuck's
again.
sake.
We're just live here, unedited. Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Craic podcast. It's the new year.
Look at you flexing your Apple Watch. Like,
20.
oh my god, what time is it?
I'm
Look
actually,
at my Apple Watch.
I can look at the time in terms of my stopwatch, which I have for the cameras. Big flags.
Yeah.
You know, now that I've got this, I feel like it's genuinely no different from the watch you have.
Do you
It's
feel
just
any cooler?
No, genuinely not.
The people stop you in the street and be like, nice
I was,
Apple Watch.
I was at the gym the other day and they have these, you know, like the dumbbell things, the
kettlebells.
kettlebells, but they're not. They're not plastic. They're like steel.
Like casting.
But I was doing overhead press, big flex. Literally just went like whoop, from behind, and it hit off the
Oh
watch.
fuck.
And I swear to God, mate,
Oh
I was just
my
like, see,
God.
I would a normal wrist person wouldn't worry about this.
Wrist person, what are they?
But I was like, I regret getting this, and pure like the fear. You know when you drop your phone on the floor or down the side of your car seat, and you're just like, oh, and you're picking it up with the fear that there's going to be a crack on it.
Yeah.
It was literally like twisting around my wrist, waiting for the big crack, and I was like, no. But it's so funny. It's such an impulse buy because we were all together. We were all down at the port celebrating the new year, and the next day,
Celebrating
Thomas
together.
gave me his Apple Watch, and I was just like, I'm going to buy one of these, and I think everybody was like, I dead on. No, you're not.
Were you still
the
drunk
next
when you
day.
bought it?
Huh?
Were you still drunk when you bought it?
No.
What do you actually do with it?
Well, I've been using it for like workouts and stuff. It's been really handy for workouts and like obviously tell
like a
tell
Fitbit then.
the
It's very
time.
much like a Fitbit,
Yeah.
but better.
The thing where, you know, if you go out on a cycle and you fall off your bike and die, it rings the...
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
That's good
have
for you,
that.
like.
I have a
That's
wee,
good for you.
I have a
You know the way you
I have
cycle
a
and
wee
stuff?
Garmin thing in the front of my bike that tells me like my miles and stuff. But there was one day we were outside the shop and one of the guys was in getting like a coffee or something, and I was just like bouncing my the front end of my bike, like just fiddling with it, and I like bounced it too hard, and it was just literally was so loud. It was like what there, and I was like, what the heck? I looked down, it was like SOS. 9 seconds it gives you before it calls
Oh my
your
God.
emergency contact. I was like, what? No.
You
Just,
were-
like trying to stop it,
You
like
with gloves on, trying to get
me
them
with
off all
gloves
before.
on, like I'm sitting hitting it with my nose, like I'm like, what
Oh
the
my
heck?
god.
But
Dangerous enough.
I feel like we kick it off there, Shay.
Well, we'll start with, it's January. Everybody's back on the diets. What are we doing, guys?
2022.
What's the
What's the New Year's
Oh my
resolutions? I know mine personally is just
What does
going
it
to the
go?
gym, getting in better
That's
state
just,
of mind.
is that not just everyone?
Better
That's
than
all just
everyone.
everyone's- Been trying to buy a treadmill and all fucking sold out now.
Why?
Because it's January.
How have you still not got a treadmill? You've been trying to buy a treadmill for
Because I'm trying to buy like a real one out of like a gym.
He's
I don't want, like,
trying to buy a
Would you not
Gucci
go to
one.
like one of them auctions?
But they're fucking
There'll
full of
be-
pretentious constants.
There'll be nothing going
Everyone
in.
just flashing their
You'd
gadgets.
be,
Colin's
you'd be right
gym.
at home then.
So how's everybody getting on with dry January? Are we trying
So
it?
dry.
Or?
I feel like I'm so easily persuaded on the drinking. Like I was like, I'm not
We're
drinking.
going out this weekend.
No, I was like, I'm not drinking till like my birthday, which is the end of the month. And then me and Brona were like met up with her sister and her boyfriend. They're like, do you want to go for a pint? And you're just like, yeah. Then that's it done. Like.
Easy as that.
Cool story, bro.
Easy as
I
that.
didn't commit to dry January, so
No.
I tried to and I broke it a weekend. So I'm just not going to try anymore.
yeah. But you were away on holiday.
Yeah. But it wasn't like, I just had like one drink. But then I was going to not have a drink all month. But then.
It doesn't count if you're not in the same postcode.
Speak into your mic there.
Hello?
Properly.
Hello?
Wow.
I didn't have a drink all month.
Oh, that's okay.
We can cut this out.
It just
Thanks,
wasn't
Ross,
like
for ruining the
it just
podcast.
wasn't like moving, and I was a bit concerned.
Wait, what dad are you doing, Shay?
Just back to fucking chicken and rice.
Chicken
Chicken and rice, chicken and
rice.
rice. Rice and a fish cake. But no, just back to chicken and rice, broccoli and that sort of shit. Like. It's depressing, like. But it has to be done. I took
Does
out
it?
this weekend though eating shit. So back on it Monday
Can I feel
again.
like, because you eat well, so all week you just eat really bad at the weekend then?
Yeah, feels so much better though.
So
a lot more
you
awake and
Are you
stuff.
gymming then, or?
Yeah, I have a gym in my house, so I just go in there like 5 days a week. like,
Flex me.
You know, but no, fucking feeling a lot better for it now.
I'm trying to do that couch to 5k thing.
How's
I've
that
done
going?
like 4
What,
this
is it
week.
like you do it every day, or?
I've done, it's like, it's meant to be 3 times a week, but I done it like 4 times this week because I want to get it done quicker. Because it's like it's 9.
Typical.
It's 9
I swear
weeks.
to God.
It's 9 weeks if you do it 3 times a week. So I'm like, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 runs a week. But yeah,
When you have it finished?
don't know.
3 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm-
like.
I know sweat.
I'm hoping by
Maybe
the, I'm
10K
hoping
by
the-
9 weeks.
I'm hoping by the end of February I'll have it done.
Be a new man walking in
Hopefully,
here in February.
that's it. That's the plan.
Right.
I feel like the vibes are a bit dead here. Like,
Right,
Ross
I'm-
looks like he's gonna fall asleep.
I'm doing nothing.
This is gonna make you think a bit, but you really have to think about this one. Like think deep. I'll give you a second all to take it in as well.
My God, this
Right.
is the first one in 2022, and you're
Shh.
God.
It's too early on a fucking Sunday morning for this. Right. Should there be a such thing as billionaires?
Why not?
Because the argument is, like, should it be capped at like millionaires? Because you see all these billionaires now, like Musk and all, fucking flying their dick rockets up to space and all that. Musk and co. Flying all their dick rockets up to space. So do you think it should be capped at millionaires?
Yes, 100%.
And given
Why?
out.
Yeah,
Why?
Why?
it's not fair.
Why is it not fair?
Because the amount of poverty in this world and people like Musk have just so much money they don't even know what to do with it.
I know, but what do you do then with the money he's made? Like, how does that help?
Put it into charity. Third world countries.
I'm glad you're disagreeing because there was this point that I heard one guy make, and he was like, "So if you go to the Olympics and somebody wins 9 gold medals, are you just going to give the people their shit the rest of it? Like, split those gold medals up and be like, oh, you can have these. You didn't work as hard as me, but
a
you can
fair
have
point.
these as a consolation prize." Do you think that's fair?
But it's different in a world where people are starving. You know, it's
I
not.
know,
It's
but
not the same.
I think it's more like, instead of like, should there be billionaires, it's like, is there like such thing as making too much money? You know? Like, where it's just like, there's no need for you to have that. You know?
Like, where do you cap that? Like, where do
But
you
then,
say?
like, how do you take that away? Like, how do you do what you're saying? Like, how do you just be like, all right, well, you've made enough money now, so give the rest to charity? You know? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
Like, how much is too much?
I don't know.
If
don't
I
you-
was the president, I would think away, but I'm
Would
not.
you?
So I haven't got
Let's
the
start
answer.
now.
I haven't got the answer today.
Vote for Alicia.
What is it? What is it? There's like a certain amount of money, like, to work out. Like, if you make it, you can basically live like comfortably. Like, you know, it's like, I can't remember the exact number. Like, it's like 70 grand or 50 grand a year or something.
And you can live.
It's like optimum or something. I could be wrong. I
But
don't know.
would you be happy with that?
Don't know. Like,
If you tomorrow made 50,000 a year, would you be happy and just be content with that?
me personally,
No.
probably
And then-
not.
If you worked even harder, would you be happy to give that away to charity?
But
need
like, you're
money.
talking billions. Like that
I
is
know,
ridiculous.
silly
Like, I
money,
feel like, I don't know. I like would always want to be progressing, like, but then I think you're gonna get to the stage where like money just doesn't matter. Like, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But then there's also the argument that a lot of those billionaires are very generous with their money, and they do.
I
give a
know,
lot
but I suppose the point is like they'd probably give like 100 grand to charity, and you're like, holy shit,
But that's
so much
nothing to them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
0.1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
But if
not.
you heard that percentage and it's like 10% of the population earn like 90% of the income, is that right? Maybe not 90, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
10% or
Yeah.
90% of
Yeah.
of it.
Like,
I
It's
just
actually
think
99 or
that's
something.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a good question, Jay.
Get
What
you
do you
thinking,
think?
like.
You haven't really give your opinion, Ross. Are you here today? Like, are you?
I
present?
don't know. Like, in my opinion, I think I get the question you asked there was quite good. Like, if you made 50k in the morning, would you be happy? I think I would say no to that, because, and if I feel like maybe it come at me again in 20 years time and I might have a different answer whenever priorities and stuff has shifted. But I was actually talking about this to someone not too long ago, and I was saying, like, I feel like in life we're at that stage in life where it's kind of it's hard, but it's easy because you always have something you're looking forward to. Like life's interesting for us at the minute. With when you're in your teens or your 20s, it's interesting because you always have something to, like a goal to strive for. Like we done A level. Your goal is to get good A levels. After your A levels, your goal is to get into uni. It keeps life interesting. Like when you're at uni, it's like all we talked about was we need to get a job. Like I can't wait to go to uni and get a job. That's all me and you talked about in uni.
Look
Like,
at us now, like.
you're out of uni now, and now we've got jobs, and like now we're chatting about like, you know, like houses.
We need to get a baby.
We need to get
Need to get a baby.
Get a ring on it.
we need
Get
to
a
get
ring.
we need to get houses. Like we need to maybe like get a promotion in the job. Like like this stage is so like there's always something to keep life spicy.
But that's fun. I think
spicy.
I'm gonna get
You know
a
what
bit
I mean? But then,
philosophical
like,
about this, but I think the most enjoyable part about life is not reaching the destination; it's the journey.
100%.
Did you
But
say that
everyone
off
just-
Pinterest, like what?
No,
That's a screensaver. I just he wakes up
I
every
just made
morning.
that up. Like,
It's like a way, like, you know, one of those like boardwalks into the like a big lake, and it's just all right. And it's like he wakes up every
I don't
morning,
really
it's
get that question though. Like, do you think like you should like what this whole aspect of like, do you think there should be billionaires? It's like, what does
I
that
think-
mean? Is that you basically trying to say there should be a cap on like?
I think it's
people
people are
making a
not
success.
content that millionaires are a thing. Like that has been a thing, and people are happy enough with that. Like people making £1 million. Like. But the next big thing is obviously billionaires, and maybe in a couple of years, the way things are going, trillionaires.
But the next thing,
But, like-
trillionaires. But you know what? No,
Like a lot of some of them billionaires have more money than countries.
you know the way like the government regulates where there can't be like monopolies.
Yeah,
Like maybe they have to do that with people as well.
that's fucking.
But
mad.
then you look
Do you know
at
what
was
I
a
mean?
thought
But do you know what I
there.
mean? But
Look
like
at-
that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like, look at Elon Musk. Look at Joe. No, not what I want. Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
Like, do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, that's
In terms of
absolutely true.
people, they could just be like, look, this is like a cap. Like, real, you don't need that much money.
I feel like people
Look at-
need to be given, like, if you're given a cap, there needs to be a clear, like, this is where your money's going to go. Because, like, you look at the amount of people, like, leaving Joe Rogan, Logan Paul, Jack Paul, Kevin Hart, all leaving LA, like,
'Cause of the income
because they're
tax.
paying
Taxes.
income tax. And there's
Yeah.
still, like, LA is so bad for homelessness. Like, David outside in was even saying, and potholes, everything. Like, if you actually look at, like, there's actually this thing I seen on TikTok not too long ago. It was like what the press let you see of LA, and it's all like the David Dobrik like party and all this here, and then it's like what LA is actually like. It's a hole.
Yeah, Skid
Yeah.
Skid
It
Row,
is
isn't
a
it?
hole. Like,
Yeah.
and what's your money going towards? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think of Kylie Jenner and the Kardashians, and I'm like, what do you do with that money? It's a disgrace. Like
Put it in their ass.
the amount of money they have for cars and parties and
But even like footballers, like there's footballers getting 500k a week now.
even did you hear Molly May hire someone to stop people taking pictures of her when she's away? Like imagine having that kind of money to do that.
Oh no.
But-
Crazy.
What about Molly May?
Literally, I was about to say.
Do we
like,
all
I
have the same 24 hours, guys?
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like
she was shafted.
I agree.
She
that was
shafted.
sure.
that
I
was
think
blown
she
out of
was.
proportion. Like I asked because
Yeah.
I listen to that podcast like every week. That CEO one.
That was like a month ago too, wasn't it?
yeah. Sure, I was listening to it when we were going to Manchester,
Yeah.
and like men come on all the time, and they're like
Yeah.
saying the same thing, just putting it differently. Like, and she's just like people say all the time, like entrepreneurs and all say all the time, oh, like you can have whatever you want as long as you're willing to work for it.
Exactly.
And she basically said the same thing, but just because it's worded differently. Do you know what I mean?
Did you
No,
watch
that's
the
one
podcast?
Yeah, I listened to the whole thing,
She
and I
said,
didn't
in
even.
she said in it as well, she was like, if I could give my money to any charity, it would be homelessness. If I see a homeless person on the street, I give all my money to them, any money I have in my pocket. And she said that in the same podcast, and people aren't even, I listened to that podcast, people aren't even listening to that podcast, and they're listening to that one snippet
But when
of
you
that
listen to
one
the
thing.
podcast, did that even stick out to you that she said that?
No.
No, but this is it. Like, people don't like her because she's 22, 23, same age as us, like,
It's
and
jealousy.
she is doing well for herself. Like, and regardless, like, I understand the whole pretty little thing and all this sort of aspect of like they're paying like the lower end workers like buttons, but like Molly May's not, and for all they know, like she might not know that, like, because she's 22. Like,
She's the creative director. She doesn't have a say
Yeah.
in what people are getting
Exactly.
paid in factories
Do you know
and
what I mean?
stuff. Like, it's stupid.
but then, like, obviously, then you see stuff like, and this is the downside of putting your basically your whole life on the internet, is this thing where she like arrives at like the thing, the the workplace or something. They're like, oh, you're doing a 12 to 1 shift, and she thought it was like an hour, but it was actually 13 hours. Like, that doesn't help her case. But at the same time, I do agree with you. Your boy Stephen Bartlett actually came out on LinkedIn and was like, the amount of men I've interviewed that have said the exact same thing as she did, and everybody blew over the top
listened
of
to
it.
so many of his podcasts, and like they all say the same thing.
People love to hate, I think. Like, I see that on social media all the time. Like, people just love like drama, and they love to jump on somebody and say like, you've done this. But I think like if all of our lives were blown out like what their lives are on film all the time, you know, like, we'd all be cancelled.
But it's even like the whole Caroline Flack thing. Like, look at that. And then if something happened to her, everyone will be, the people tweeting and being like, oh my god, I can't believe she said that, would be the same ones being like, oh my god, R.I.P. Molly May. Like,
I think a big part of it too is being attached to Love Island, because people just see that as, oh my god, you got gifted because you got on Love Island.
But like at the same time, how many people who came off Love Island have become a creative director of a clothing company? Yeah. And then she was doing YouTube off before she went on Love Island, and she was doing influencing, so it's not like, obviously it boosted her career, like, but you know, at the same time she was doing it anyway. I
think her comment was she didn't think it through, but
no, but
yeah, but people say it, but that maybe she didn't think it through, and she probably didn't think she was going to get it scrutinised. If she knew that that was going to happen, she wouldn't have said it.
I get why people are annoyed, but like at the same time, if you're gonna read into what she said, like, you have to read into every time someone says that, like, oh, you can do whatever you want as long as you work hard. Alright, well, can people in Africa do that? But like, because she said it, it's
no
like,
one's under that amount of scrutiny.
Everybody just like needs to realise that there's people out there who literally don't want to see you do well in any. And we joke about it, I'm not naming names or anything, but we've seen it over here. Like, you know what I mean? It's toxic. It is like.
Perfect example. If Gary V turned around tomorrow and said that, people have their dicks out. Like, oh, Gary V, that's so true. Like, but just because it's Molly May and she's not like you don't see Molly May as a business person. You see, like, first thing he thinks Love Island. Like.
It's just a jealousy thing.
But there's a guy, I don't know if you've seen his TikToks. I think he's from Derry or something, but he's doing this like sobriety thing, and he's doing this whole like, oh, like what day whatever in sobriety, like he hasn't done weed or like whatever, right? And like you see him posting up the videos, and whenever I see stuff like that, I'm like, fair enough, like, go on ahead. But like, there's people who'll see that and be like, what a tool, you know what I mean? Like, that's their immediate reaction. Like, we've talked about it so much, but like Kevin Hart's a good example. Like one of his biggest dreams was to host, was it the Oscars or something, and then as soon as he got it, people went back through old tweets, cancelled him, you know what I mean? And it's just
people love to do that and find what you've done wrong.
Yeah, like, it's got like, this is just it. Like, and I don't think it's ever going to change. It's never going to change, because people are just, and I feel like over in America, like, you'll get the hate, but at the same time you have a big enough audience to like back you up and to like give you a spur on, whereas I don't think over here is the same.
No, it's worse.
Poor Molly May. I like Molly May. I watch all the videos.
I think it is harsh. Like, I think the whole thing is just ridiculous, and I like how many people actually listen to the whole podcast. Yeah. Moving on, Shay, what else have you got?
This question takes a different sort of turn, but I don't know if you're going to like this or not.
I think we need a bit of a lighter note. This is getting a bit
happy 2022.
It's culturally related.
Oh God,
where the fuck do all these words come from? Like Northern Irish and Irish people say
words or wards.
I feel like words.
I thought you said words.
Words. You can't even say words. But like, it seems like there's a culture in Northern Ireland where you have to like use made up words.
Like what?
So a perfect example was that I thought of this morning is queer. So like, geez, there's a queer yoke there. Like,
queer.
Where the fuck did that come from? Like, how do you spell it? Like, is that in a dictionary?
Is it like square without the S?
I would think so.
Is it a Q or is it a C?
I'd say Q. Let's go Q.
Like, where this? I don't know.
I would say QWER.
Scundered as well. Like, do other people say?
Is that in the dictionary?
Is
that in the dictionary?
I don't know.
What is it?
Is that a real word? And have we like adopted it to mean something else? Or is queer a word?
And do you know scundered means different things up and down the country? Like, it's to me, scundered means embarrassed, but other people.
To me, if I say like, I would say to them like, I don't want to do this. I'm scunnered. Like, I'm fed up with
embarrassed.
It. Whereas
I would say
that doesn't mean embarrassed to me. That means scunnered means like, I'm absolutely scunnered. Like, I'm fed up.
Or scundered could mean drunk. as well.
No, I've never heard it mean embarrassed, or I've never heard it mean like drunk. It's up my way. It's
like scunnered.
Yeah,
like,
I'm so scunnered.
it would be like a you're like no, don't talk to him. He'd scunner you. Like that's.
I've heard you say something like that before.
But it fucks in my head. It's like, who the fuck thought of this? Like, what cunt was someone just sitting one day and was like, hold on a minute, just like blurts a sound and was like,
then,
oh, this is what it means now.
Blurts
I'm gonna start telling all my mates and it's gonna catch on.
There has been studies and stuff that have shown like people who've like if you pilot people and like they start to create their own sort of like wee languages and stuff.
I had
it's
noticed
over
that
here
happening.
because like. How many people do you know in Northern Ireland that haven't left Northern Ireland?
That would have happened in the place I used to work, in the bookies.
Yeah.
Like, I used to come out with the most raw. Like, there's a guy who came in, like, anytime someone came in with a new saying, they constantly say it, like, and the next thing everybody in the place is fucking saying it.
Yeah.
It's like stupid shit, like, no bother, like, meaning no bother, lad.
Yeah.
But, like, someone would start saying it and they'd be saying it all day and they'd be saying it as a joke, and then the next thing it fucking catches on and everybody's saying it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing coming out to maybe use and saying it and being like, no bother.
Well, so there's been
And then
things,
being like,
there's
so
been
no
things
bad.
that you said that I've naturally I joke about.
Yeah.
But like, see, whenever we were all down at the port over New Year and yous all left, there was like 2 days later, and Lucinda, I think Lucinda, something really simple, like she made soup or something, and she brought it in. She was like, what do you think? I was like, it's so no bala. And she was like, I beg your pardon. I was like, it's good, like. And she was like, no, what did you say before that? I was like, I just said like, it's so no bala. She was like, was that a joke? I was like, you know what, no, something, no, it just actually came out of my mouth.
Yeah,
That's
that
so
happened.
bad.
The exact same thing happened to me in Aoife one day. And I was like, I was texting, I was like, no bad, no bad, no bad, and all this. I constantly saying it, and she was like, oh my god, will you stop fucking saying that?
Have you
Met her
said
like a week later, and she was like, I was talking about something. She was like, yeah, that's no bad. And I looked at her and was like, how dare you?
Have you ever heard help you, or is that a true thing?
What is it?
What is it?
See, in school, when I was in school, everyone, and it's like, I think it must be a Trone thing, help you, and that would mean like if somebody said something stupid, you'd be like, oh, help you. That would help the cause. Like,
Would that be as in like God help you?
like no, like he needs help, kind of like help you. Everyone used to say that, or help the
never
cause,
heard that one, no.
or like somebody would say something, and you'd be like, oh, that would help the cause, and like you're so stupid, basically. And we said that all the time.
Oh my god.
But I think that's just like a
never heard that
Trone
one.
thing.
But some of them get so overused that you actually think they're real words. Is dead on a real word?
Yeah.
Dead
We
on.
say a lot up.
Well,
I
it's-
don't
No,
think
but
so.
is that in the
It's
dictionary?
two words, like it's not
two
one
words.
word.
But is the word dead
don't
on
think-
as
I
one
don't-
word?
No,
Because you wouldn't say
no.
dead on. You'd be
I
like,
don't think
It's
dead
not.
on.
It's not one word.
I don't
though.
even think it's double
If
barrel.
you text me dead on, you'd be like, one word, dead on.
Yeah.
Is that in the dictionary? See, you're thinking about it. You're like, it might be. You've used it that much.
Dead
It's
on
definitely
is
not.
apparently, according to Oxford, dead on is
In the dictionary.
a phrase of dead. Exactly right. Her judgment was dead on.
There
Like
you
it
go.
was dead.
It actually
Exactly,
is.
We are-
exactly right.
Boys, 2022, we're learning so much.
Knowledge.
Talking about the
so
important things.
Infocast.
What about
So no bad, lah.
what about
So no bad, lah.
excuse me?
Got it.
Sorry, go on.
Trying to be professional here.
Rock it.
What about the whole Djokovic thing? Djokovic?
Oh, you're so linguistic. Enlighten
Can't
me on it.
speak.
Hey,
Got
Yaki.
kicked out.
But he basically like it's just went on for like over a week now, and like by the time this goes out, sure the Australian Open probably started, would it? But
Probably over.
he went over to Australia and he's against the vaccine. And Australia's obviously like, if you don't have the vaccine, you can't do sweet fuck all. Like you have to, you can't go to the gym, you can't go to the pub, you can't do nothing. So he went over and he's no vaccine, and he was like meant to play in the Australian Open, and they basically like approved him to play. But then everyone cracked up and was like, I haven't seen my family in like 3 years because of this.
Mm.
And they're like, there was this whole like media backlash, and then they were like, no, you're not playing, and put him in quarantine, and he wasn't allowed to leave the hotel because you have to go into quarantine anyway. And then it was like he was in quarantine, and then next thing they cancelled his visa, and then
Yeah.
they were like, no, we're gonna let him play, and then he left his hotel and got arrested. Like there's this whole thing, but now he's not playing on it. Like. But it's
So
just
the
like
thing, in Australia, you're not allowed to be unvaccinated now, isn't it?
it's
If
they're
you're
like,
over
Yeah,
like
you-
18 or something.
they're
There's
like
so many
really
restrictions.
strict. Like.
Yeah.
No, New Zealand's bad for it as well. Sure, your all just came out and was like, if you aren't vaccinated, please don't expect to go to the gym, go to
Yeah.
the club, go to
Go to the club.
go to the cafe. Like, if you're unvaccinated, this is just it. Like,
I'm pretty sure Australia's the same.
yeah.
But like, do you think that's the way it should be?
No.
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 What do you think, Lisa?
No.
I don't
If
think
we
it's
go-
You don't
fair,
seem
like,
very
I
confident.
don't think
I
it's
don't-
If we
fair.
got a vaccine that actually stopped you from getting it, but like COVID's just gonna keep like it's just gonna keep doing collabs with
Yeah.
other COVIDs, and
Collabs,
it's
yeah.
just gonna keep coming out like as different stuff.
What do we think of these parties?
COVID feed
These-
Drake.
Like what did you
Oh my
expect?
God.
And then that
It's
fills
so-
up boogieing and all with your
so
doll.
annoying.
Like,
It's so
No, that's
brilliant.
not actually, but apparently that's from
But-
2013.
of course it was.
Yeah.
Of course it
But
was.
did you see? Like,
I don't
apparently
even
they were
listen to
having
it.
like wine parties every Friday. You know.
That
wine
makes me
and
so
bang
I
annoying.
don't
with
think I would have
Boris.
cared about it until people started making the argument where it was like, oh, we weren't allowed to do fuck all.
We were
Like,
only allowed to meet one person outside.
Yeah, I didn't realize
This was
that's
like
what
when
the
it was
time
really
that
strict.
happened.
like.
It, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it was really like this was like was it June or July? You
No,
might-
it was May.
Was it May?
Because I was
Yeah.
thinking it
Was
was
that
just
when lockdown first started?
They had
though?
they had like a pure
March, was
boozy
it?
party the night
Yeah.
before they buried Prince Philip.
Did they?
Yeah, I know.
What?
I was watching, me and
Big
Rohan.
Lizzie was sitting
I
at home
know.
alone.
Big Lizzie.
Meanwhile, Bojo.
she was over on Epstein's Island.
Oh no.
Here, it's been confirmed. I'm
Has
not
it?
saying she was doing anything wrong. The pilot released the fucking flight logs,
Did they?
and she was one of the people on the plane.
How often was she going over?
I don't know, but like, you can't say that she was doing anything wrong. Like, but she was on the plane.
She loves the wee boys.
I didn't say it. It wasn't me. I just said she was on the plane.
Well, we're off to a
I was
cracking
watching
start
the
for
House
2022.
of Commons video last night.
Let's go. What are you
Like,
saying?
I was watching Boris apologising in the house, like in the House of Commons last night. Me and
That's
Rohan
a
watched like a
right.
20-minute video. Just,
Oh my god, I couldn't watch
I
it.
can't watch
really-
it. I can't even think about
Really
it.
pissed me off the way it was going on. I'm like,
But what was it?
Last
What was
week,
it they said? Oh,
the
we
press
thought,
were
we
like-
thought it was like a work thing. Like they didn't.
but even before that, like the press were like, all right, so it's a crack with this party. He was like, oh, you'll have to speak to who was your girl in the investigation?
Sue.
Sue.
Oh,
He was
she's
just
like
oh,
trending on
speak,
Twitter. What's her
speak
name?
to Sue. And it's like, why can you not just be like, no, it didn't happen, or yeah, it didn't happen, we done wrong? Like, it was just like, oh, speak to
But
Sue.
at the start, at Christmas time, he was like, I'm devastated and disgusted to find out there was these parties. And then here you hear that he was at a wine and cheese party,
Oh no.
thinking it wasn't a party.
Well, I'm telling you something. If Aoife brought over the cheese board that she brought for New Year, and no, I wouldn't blame him.
Be advertising
Not
our
crowd.
business next week.
Aoife, Shay's girlfriend, brought over a cracking cheese board for New Year.
See what you did there?
Like, it was mad. She even,
Really?
you were so baffled by the presentation of the whole thing because she put the meat on like a glass and like shaped it like a flower. We were taking pictures of it and all. It was mad crack.
I feel like this is such a random thing to bring up.
People
It's
are going to
we're
be like
having such
picturing
a
that in their
good
head and be like,
conversation.
everyone taking pictures, and Ross being like, that was mad crack. Like, fucking nuts. Like, standing around
so
taking pictures of a
novella.
cheese board. You guys need to calm the fuck down.
I just
Well-
think, like, with regards to all this Boris Johnson stuff, like, I don't know about yous. I just don't watch it anymore because I'm like, I don't expect anything from these people.
yeah.
I don't. The past 2
Watched
years,
that look
what's
up
it-
last night.
That's good.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
it's
No,
good.
I can't speak about that. It's given me an existential crisis.
What?
Oh my
I
God.
watched it before Christmas, I think. I can't speak about it.
Why?
It's the scariest movie ever.
It's scary.
I thought the bit at the end was a bit fucked where they're all sitting at the table. and I
Oh
was just like,
no.
boom.
I had existential
Dead.
crisis for like 2 weeks.
But
And
it's-
I've just
Are you one of these
recovered.
people that really overthink it and think
I
it's going to
just
happen now?
recovered from
It's so funny
I
because
can't watch anything.
I feel
Really?
I feel like that's what exactly what would happen. If
It is like, it is. I know it's like an exaggerated what's happening with the whole masks and vaccine shit, but like, I think the mask stuff's kind of justifiable, but like, it's getting progressively and
But I feel
progressively
like-
worse.
Like,
Like,
you look
If
at
someone went to Boris
people-
Johnson or Joe Biden was like, "There's an asteroid heading there," so
Yeah.
I feel
Joe
like they'd be
Biden
like,
wouldn't
but is there
have
though?
a sodding clue. Joe Biden is. He's gone. The man has checked out. he's gone. Like you look at Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson comes out with stuff like, "Oh, we're going to rub the roof in rhubarb, and this will create jobs for rhubarb growers." Then you had Trump, who was just Trump, and then Biden came in, and everybody was like, "Thank God, a bit of sense." And every single Biden speech, he's like, "I did," and the people. And then he's looking down at people like as if like, what am I talking about here? Like he's checked
Yeah.
out.
it's annoying
He's like a
too.
big shrimply old.
If you look at the statistics, Trump was actually a good president. Like.
Yeah. Dare I say it?
It is. It's true. Like.
On paper, yeah.
On
he was.
paper, like.
He might have been a bollocks, but he got the stats like.
You know what I mean.
I think what
I'm leaving right now.
I think
Sometimes
what
you just
America
have to
wanted-
look at the numbers.
I think
okay?
what
But it's
America
all a
wanted
popularity
after
contest,
Trump was
like-
literally someone just to come in and just be there.
America need
Yeah.
a woman president.
I Are you
That
gonna
is
be
why
it?
I'm running.
Nice. But that's well, I seen a thing. You know your boy David Bartlett, who does that Diary of a CEO
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
He came out and was like, you know, the things are bad in government when it's like becoming a more entertaining reality show than Love Island. Like it is. It's
that's
just
the
like a
thing.
reality TV show now.
I don't know if I'm being stupid whenever I say this, and a lot of people probably think of it but is it not just so fucked up that the people like running all these countries all fucking hate each other and are trying to stab each other in the back?
What do you
Like,
mean?
can we not all come together as a community and love each other and work with each other?
This is
Rather
what-
than
this is
fucking
actually
hating
what
on
I
each
thought
other.
about the other day, and I'm sorry.
Did
if
you have this
if
thought
This
before?
is a really
All right.
simple way of
thought
looking
you
at
might
things.
agree
No,
with
I
me.
agree. I seen this thing on Twitter and it came up and it was like North Korea launch another missile. And basically United States are like, big man, if you do that again, we're going to missile you. And I'm like, here's a thought. How about just don't? How about like everybody just do their own thing and like see these missiles, just get rid of them.
They all
You
have
know
a
what I mean?
justification
It's
for
like,
having
oh,
them. It's all like,
you're doing something bad, so I'm going to nuke you. And then you're going to nuke me, and then no one wins.
but you know what they come out with? They're going to come out with something like, but what if a meteor comes towards the Earth and we have to strike it with our nukes? Like, that's why we need nukes.
No
And then we
talking about
don't look
meteors,
up.
please.
I feel
Trying
like
to
I feel like
figure
if
it
that
out, like-
happened, I'd be like, right, use of nukes, we're gonna nuke it, and they'd be like, we're not using our nukes if you don't use your nukes.
But that's all it is.
Do you
It's
know what
all
I mean?
it's defense. It's all like,
I'm so interested in
blackmailing
North Korea. I
at the
think
highest level.
I watch so many documentaries about it that they all wake up at the same time every day. They all have alarms in their house. They wake up at the same time every day. They all have to have a picture of the leader in their house, and
Do people not get like sent to jail if they don't have a picture up in the house?
yeah, they can only have a
check
few
them all the
different
time.
haircuts, and like they weren't allowed to laugh there for a couple of months. But
Yeah,
like,
in morning, if anybody was caught smiling or something, you'd be arrested.
do you know what I'm going to say
it's,
here, right?
it's crazy.
They say all this stuff about North Korea being like, oh, you have to do this and all. How much are they like? They always say like North Korea like fucking warp the media and what like their people hear and stuff.
Yeah.
How much of the stuff are we hearing about North Korea is actually true? Because how do we know if
People
they
that
don't tell
came
them
out
anything?
from North Korea, there's an activist and she does TED Talks and stuff. I can't remember her name, but she lived in North Korea and she escaped to China, and she said there would be like, she would go for walks and there'd be dead bodies and dead dogs all over the roads and stuff, and like
What?
it's crazy there. Like that, I was really interested and I used to watch so many things about it.
But
It's pretty
Great
bad.
start
Do you
to-
see?
do you not think? I think
2023.
they maybe blow it out of proportion a bit. I don't think
Maybe.
it's bad.
You can go and visit North Korea.
It doesn't sound very
It's
appealing
not
after
really on
that.
my-
You're not really
it's not-
selling it, does
It's
like?
not on my top 10 holiday list.
You
like.
walk around, there's just dead bodies everywhere, but you should go see North
No,
Korea.
they don't show you that part. They show you all the good things, and you do like a guided tour. You're not allowed to take any
like,
pictures
yeah.
though.
If you visit North Korea, are you like, do you have to get up at the same time as everyone?
No.
No, what we lie in, kitten jogging, comes rapping at your door.
You have to like
Smiling
cry and all
someone.
whenever you see him too, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to be like so
The
overexcited whenever you
videos
see
are so
Kim Jong Un.
scary that all the people are like screaming and crying.
Imagine
That's mental.
people from North. Imagine us coming out and he walks in through. I'd be like, what? I could imagine you. You're like,
Stay to your fucking hair, mate.
What's up? What are we doing here? Like? You'd be
Sick-
just so
sick
scunnered by him.
Sick trim row. What about like Don't Look Up? Is the guy in Elon Musk, the tech guy, who's like,
Is that who that's based on?
Yes,
I don't know, I feel like
definitely
that
is.
that is what
Is
it
it?
will be
Because
now.
Elon Musk in every like Tesla thing always like stutters. He always sounds like he doesn't really know, like he loses train of thought, and that was, I think he was a mixture of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Because the way he dressed was very
He
Steve
does,
Jobs
yeah.
like, but the way he conducted himself was very like Elon Musk, like presenting things where he was like and this and we're that's so like, remember the time when the Tesla truck came out
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they broke the window? He was all over the place, like.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, like even the early Tesla stuff, he came out and it was like he was making it up on the spot. There was no which he probably was.
Mm.
Did you see the end of Don't Look Up? Meryl Streep. Sorry, spoiler. Meryl Streep getting her face bit off by that animal.
Yeah,
It's just like
There's
what a beautiful creature.
There's a like,
And then he just
What was
bites her
that?
face
there's a
off.
post credit scene.
there's-
where
But
they
I seen the
all-
post credit.
they
It's
all-
Jonah Hill like coming out of a fucking rubble.
No, there's a
Wait,
post credit
is it Jonah
scene
Hill?
where
Is it
like they land on this new planet and they all come out butt naked.
I didn't see that.
Like
part.
40,000 years later.
Yeah, and Meryl Streep's like walking around and she's like, "Oh my god, what a beautiful creature!" and it just like bites her head off. And
They're all walking around naked because they were in
Yeah.
these pods, and then Meryl Streep like has like this tattoo on her like back, lower back, and then she's like walking around, and then she's like, these beautiful creatures, and like they're like dinosaurs or dragons or something, and then he just bites her face
Oh
off.
my god, I didn't see that.
So that's what I think about when I'm really scared. I just think of that.
I love the way they've done like the whole news thing as well. The way they're all happy and all. They're like, "This is so serious." They're like, "We don't do serious in this show."
Apparently,
It's so
in
true,
that
though.
Timothy Chalamet like came up like imposed a lot of his stuff.
Yeah. What does he
Where,
say?
where he breaks in through and he was like, I'm Quickscoper 69, do you game? Like, that was apparently completely made up.
Like a lot.
Stick what's your Twitch or
Do
something?
you understand the hype about Timothy Chalamet? I suppose I'm talking to the
What do you
wrong
mean?
people. Like some people think he is like the best looking man alive.
I've seen on Instagram.
I'm not really
man.
interested in
I
man.
feel like there's a bit of a
I'm asking
battle
around
between
people
him
like
and Tom
this.
Holland, like. But like Logan Paul was saying, apparently like Timothy Chalamet is an absolute dog, like he just is
IRL?
riding all around
Oh,
him
right.
in Hollywood, like, in
Right.
real life. Like, why is that funny? We're all adults here.
So do we like Timothy Chalamet?
What?
In Little Woman?
Did any? I watched
that? A little woman.
I seen him in.
You okay?
I watched that one about what is it? What do you call the one where he's like addicted to heroin?
I don't know. I just thought.
Well, go.
What about Tom Hardy?
Oh, fucking prick. Sort of.
Did you hear this?
Yeah.
I'm actually scullered.
Funny
I'm
you
actually
say that because
scullered.
we've got him here on the show.
In person.
We were sitting on New Year's,
I think that's a good way to end it.
and we'll end this on this because I'm genuinely, I don't even want to go home now that you've mentioned it because it's angered me.
I just love how pissed
Just
off you are about it.
And Aoife just looks at me. It was the seriousness on Aoife's face.
Was it
Can we
you
just-
that
I
thinks-
love Tom
Can we
Hardy.
just
Is
think-
it you that thinks you look like
Can we
him?
put
No, I like Tom
Can
Hardy.
we put context to this? Like, you are the biggest Tom Hardy super fan ever.
I think he's
And
class.
I think Ross would leave Lucinda for Tom Hardy. So like on New Year's Eve, we were sitting. Everyone had just got to Lucinda's apartment, and what do you call it? How did it come up? Eve was like, "Do you not think she looks like Tom Hardy?"
But we were well on at this
And
point.
Ross was basically about to implode, like, and he was like, "How? Like, what do you mean? How? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't."
I thought it was you that thought you looked like Tom Hardy.
No.
And you were
I
like
think
so
he looks
convinced.
Like, what do you call him?
I think I came out with a very early podcast, and I said I think I have like the same similar sort of
Gareth
build as
Brooks
Ben
or something?
Affleck because he's like he's not fat,
Nathan
but he's
Carter.
big. But like
Oh my god.
anyway, Aoife turned around and goes, "Oh, like," but she was so and like it started getting to the stage where like she just wouldn't drop it, and I think that was the point that was annoying me, where she was like, "I just really think he looks like Tom Hardy."
I
Like,
just love how pissed off
and
he
I
is
was
about
just
it.
like, "No, he doesn't."
But
Like,
Ross
he,
was just like,
he-
"No!"
he physically doesn't. Like, he just doesn't. And no, but like if you look at it from my eye, I'm like, if I have the same eyes that you do.
She was
I'm
like,
looking at
oh, whenever he does his pout and all,
no, like die.
he does
It's
a
just
bit like. And
but
like,
then-
It's just like I just roll over it in bed. Everyone and look at him like Tom.
I what was it I said? I was like, whatever like helps you get through the night, like, you know, like whatever. Like I'm all for it. Like, but don't try and polish a turd here. Like,
pulled out his Tom Hardy photo out of his wallet and was like, "You do not look like him."
But,
look at him.
then
No.
so to end it here, we had a clip of ours used on TikTok
By Boojum.
by
And they
Boojum.
didn't even tag us.
So it was basically about
I didn't even
Shay.
see
This
this.
happens all the time. People just rip stuff off and don't tag. Like, it's just, this is where we've got in society.
I have to start filing lawsuits.
Um,
They're like,
Like,
get some fucking money in the door.
So Shay was talking about basically if you buy a burrito bowl, you can like get a wrap for like 50p. So this guy
Can you?
done this. Yeah.
Are we
Don't
trying
wanna
to start
get into it.
beef?
Pardon the pun.
Beef.
But
nice.
so basically he featured it, and then Thomas went on the Here's Crack one and was like, "Oh, cheers for the tag." But then I went on in my personal one, and I was like, "Oh my god, was that Tom Hardy at the start?" Just to see if someone would be like, so what, someone like left it. I think it's
And
this like
everybody commented going like, "Oh my god, is that actually him?"
2 weeks 2 weeks later, one person replied and goes, "Me, it's definitely not." I was like, well, there we go.
There's
Devastating.
always that one person on TikTok who is like 110% serious and can't take sarcasm. Like, they probably thought in their head, this guy actually
he
thinks
was-
that's Tom Hardy. Like,
Yeah.
What was it he said?
He
He
goes,
goes,
"This is
"Yeah,
not definitely
looks
him."
absolutely nothing like Tom Hardy."
Full stop.
But nothing else. Like,
People get so
So-
angry,
and
don't
his
they?
name is some user 12345, so it was Daphne Ross using a fake account.
I thought this was so weird, dude.
Ross actually put all three of those comments on that.
Every day,
Here's
Ross
Crack
is chatting,
Ross
just
on.
being like, "Why is nobody backing me up here?"
My name's user one like something like that, but I don't know how to change it.
Oh, you're a fucking
so
troll.
I'm
She's a
commenting. It's
troll.
like
You're a
user.
troll. All trolls have their names as user
Yeah.
36.
And that troll who's always commenting.
Your
Yo,
Yeah,
this podcast is dead.
Your profile picture's a tractor and all.
Yeah.
Right, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Guys, we got someone
First
coming, like, 10 minutes.
podcast of 2022.
Vibes.
Let's go. Cheers. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.